Alright, this is Magic Sword for Super Nintendo. This game was released by Capcom in 1990 for the arcades. And as you can see, the game takes place in a 50-story palace. The beginning stage is cool because it takes place in a town, or a village, as it was. So the main character in this game, he doesn't have a name. He is simply called the Brave One, or Hero, or what have you. Now the object of this game is to get to the Mystical Tower, is what they call it, which is 50 floors of madness. The evil villain Drakmor has obtained the Black Orb and is trying to take over the world. Basically your typical story. One of the cool features about this game is that you find prisoners that if you release them, they become your allies. Just like now, I have the big man now, which is really cool. He's my favorite one because he throws an axe, and we're killing grizzly bears. What the fuck? Excuse my language. I'm sorry, we're killing grizzly bears. Okay, first boss is a chimera. Look at him, he's a chimera. He's got a lion's head, dragon's wings, and he's not that hard. He has a pattern, you know, just like any other boss. So let's see if we can beat him here. I'm already dying. Oops, I died. So here we go again. So if you notice at the bottom of the screen, you have a magic meter, and then your allies also have a meter. They can level up. I have my big man at level 3 here, which is pretty cool. Every time you beat a boss, you get a new sword. So now I got a Falchion sword. And what this does is it increases your attack ability. So when you beat a stage, it adds up your points and it gives back some of your life. 2 is a really good amount of life to have. So now I'm in the tower. I'm in the actual tower, the actual mystical tower. I'm on, stage 2. I'm obviously not going to be able to make it through this entire game. So all throughout the game you find chests, treasure chests that have keys in them. They mostly have keys in them. And you're going to find these prison doors that have prisoners in them all throughout the game. There's so many of them. And if you just walk up to one or press up, you use the key and unlock one, you release a prisoner, and if you walk in front of them, they will become your ally. Now, the ninja has always been my favorite one because when he gets powered up, this guy kicks ass. But you have the option to, like the wizard. Here we have the wizard here. So let's see what the wizard does. And the blue door is always the end of the level, but you have the option to keep going throughout the level. But eventually you get to a point where it ends. So you have to go through the blue door. One of the things that always comes to mind when people usually play this game is Golden Axe. It's a little bit similar. This is more of a platformer than Golden Axe. Golden Axe was more of a medieval beat 'em up, but this game, kind of brings back memories of Golden Axe. So now I have the Thief. I don't really like the Thief because, I mean, sure, he can find things that... The cool thing about the Thief, actually, is that he can see things that would normally be invisible to you. So I don't know if I'm going to have an example to demonstrate that, and it doesn't really matter, because normally when you find, see, sometimes when you unlock the prisons, you'll get enemies, and I'd like to point out that if you get hit, you lose your sword. You lose the newest sword that you have, so you have to go back and get it. So you don't want to get hit. So now I'm going to try it the Valkyrie. She's actually called the Amazon, but I like to call her Valkyrie because it just sounds more badass. And she has a crossbow, and when it gets powered up, it's actually very powerful. So that's what the cutscenes, all the cutscenes are just you walking up this palace that's made of 50 floors. And as you can see, when you get hit, like I said, you keep losing your sword. So you just keep going and going and going, up and up and up and up, 50 floors. Now I have another Valkyrie, so you just jump over it, doesn't really matter. But if you do acquire her, her level goes up. If you see down in the middle part of the screen down there, it says level 3. That's the Valkyrie's level. So now we have the ninja again. He's at level 2. And the higher you get these allies, these characters, I mean, they can really do some good damage. So that's Magic Sword. That's all I'm gonna review for the game tonight. I'll probably do a follow-up review eventually. Maybe actually do an actual full playthrough of the game so that you guys can see the final boss, see the ending and all that. Tonight, this is all I'm going to do for the game. It's just basically a quick run through of the game. It's a good solid game by Capcom. I always liked the arcade version, and now we're at the real first boss. So I'm going to see if I can beat him. But a really good solid side-scrolling fantasy action game. I've always enjoyed this game. The arcade version is awesome. And I think the Super Nintendo port, I think it was really good. I mean, I always had a good time with this game. There's really not a whole lot to it. It's not the most challenging game in the world. Like, for example, this dragon boss, his pattern is pretty simple to figure out. When he flies towards you, he flies in a down-up motion. Not like that, but like that. And if you're on a platform, it's quite easy to dodge. But overall, Magic Sword is a really fun 2D side-scrolling platformer game for Super Nintendo, and I've always enjoyed it. An interesting fact about this game is that you don't have to start from the first level. You can the game will let you start from a later level in the game, higher up in the tower. And when you finally reach Lord Drakmor, you will have your powered up sword and your powered up ally. So in that respect, the game is very fair. I just died. I just got my ass whooped by a fucking train. But he's almost dead, so why don't we go ahead. Oh, so he's dead. Okay, so now you collect the coins. So this would be a good time to end the video. I had a really good time making it. Magic Sword, like I said, it's a really fun. If you have a few hours to kill, you could do a lot worse. So Magic Sword, Super Nintendo. And it adds up your points, gives you back life. So Magic Sword, Super Nintendo. Cool, solid game. Thanks for watching, guys.